right now, this is the situation in the market. XRP is up 7% for the day, and the major assets like Ether, Bitcoin is down like 3% for the day. And look, for the last 1 week, there's a huge difference. 26% up, which is XRP, and Bitcoin and Ether both are in negative. Right now, when you zoom in to look at what XRP is doing, can the price retest this level and bounce? Yes, it's a short level. You just broke that barely. There is a huge chance that it can be a fake out. But historically, we have seen this. You broke higher, barely. There was also the chance of being a fake out, but you then come back down to retest that and then bounce off. So can the price action do that? Now for that, you will have to look at the weekly, you'll have to look at the 3-day chart, you'll have to look at the daily chart and ask yourself like, okay, what do you think is happening? Yes, on the candlestick chart, it's really a little bit hard to see like, what exactly is happening. There is a lot of noise, the wicks to upside, but this one helps you to clarify that. And right now I can say this. In yesterday's video, when we were saying, okay, this is about to happen, I think that materialized. Before Bitcoin started dropping, we were saying like, okay, XRP is showing that I'm going upside, but Bitcoin is like, no, I'm not going to let you go higher, right? And that kind of happened. Bitcoin actually started dropping, and the panic actually entered into the market. Now, one of the things which we have to keep in mind while looking through this is the RSI. That's important. On a 3-day chart, for XRP, the RSI reaching here kind of gives us the range of next 20 to 45 days, say 50 days, that XRP can actually move through these levels and go take this previous high. That is a huge possibility when we are entering into this zone. Now, what else is interesting in the market? Because the market right now shows Bitcoin can actually literally drop another $1,000 right now and follow up on that. So we are like, okay, the dollar is going down. It's gapping to the downside when it opened, which is showing you like, okay, there is selling pressure. Still, Bitcoin is showing it may drop further. Now, if we get a double bottom here, that's the bullish thing, but most likely we are going further lower. This is all happening when the macro things are coming into the structure, which is, it's so bad. Meaning the regulators themselves really don't know what they're doing. One is saying like, okay, this is a commodity. The other one is saying it's a security. So this is going to help Ether and XRP. If Ether is being screwed, they can actually put this out. If right now we know courts are talking about this, regulators, they don't even know what is reality, whether this is a security, whether this is a commodity. Now it is just reinforced. So that's going to go positive for Ripple, the company. But on the other hand, look at what the macro is doing. It really is concerning. And it all ends up here with the CBDC. And that's where Ripple, the company, is being positioned. So macro is bullish. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, it's so easy. We don't have to do too much of a work. We can actually say like, okay, the 2-hour chart on the line here shows, okay, we are slowing down, we are reversing, there is something happening, we need more clarity, right? So that's where you actually take in the candlesticks, and you can actually see like, okay, the price is actually slowing down at this point, and we may even have a little bit of drop to retest this scenario. And how would that look like? And for me, I'm like, okay, this can be a possibility. We went up, fine. Now we may come down and go back up. That is like another possibility when Bitcoin is dropping to the downside, as we just discussed. That means XRP can also drop. And it's not like you're going all the way back down, because I know the thought process out there in the market is like, okay, you may actually drop heavily. You may go through these level and even may put in a new low, which can be something below 0.3. But for me, I have a hard time agreeing with that concept, because what I'm observing here based on whatever we've seen is like, this is a pattern which we have gone through. We broke that level. Great. Now the RSI is reaching here. That's on a 3-day, right? Not on an hourly chart. Then you go on a daily and you're observing this right now with the increasing volume. The price action is pushing that one up. The volume candle is literally agreeing with the price action. The volume increased and that's buying volume, 1. 2, the price action reacted just positively, meaning the last candle was like a small one, but this one is comparatively a long bullish shaped candle in the direction of the volume when it's increasing. And then on the macro, we do understand like, okay, this has been a resistance. On a weekly, we broke that to the upside. We are just about to enter into the positive zone in the MACD on a weekly, which is super important to keep in your mind because as we discussed the daily, we are already super bullish. And on the 3-day chart, it is literally showing you the MACD already entered the positive territory. RSI is entering the overbought zone. And that's where you usually get these kind of massive momentum rallies, right? So we are just entering to that area where we may see the blast offs. But the issue is the market went down for so long, correcting, consolidating. People do not believe that this may actually go higher. If you even say like, okay, I think there is a possibility XRP is ready, people would be like, nah, it's been 2 years, we are going to the downside, that may not happen. But look at the fact here, right? The volume kind of doubled in last 2 days, 3 days time. At a time when the volume of these major assets went down. So imagine the normal sense in the market, you are looking at the first 100 assets and you see like, okay, XRP, GMX, Maker, XLM, these are kind of moving, in which only XRP is above 5% for the day. We can even say like GMX came close to that. So if you are looking for an asset to move on for a trade, most likely you're not now looking at Bitcoin, you're not now looking at Ether, you're looking at XRP, and that's why the volume is increasing. Literally, that's actually a positive zone, meaning new buyers, new traders, new people will be entering into this asset as they see the market is going up. Because when you go on to the return rates of the same, you see like, okay, the last 7 days has been positive. Last 30 days is showing you a trend which is starting to the upside. And the quarter shows you are just starting that parabolic move, which is, I don't know how to explain the importance of that because we have followed things like that for AGI, XFET, SHIB and a lot of other coins where we took our trade and in a month we ended up in a decent position in profits, right? So that is the same structure I'm observing here. Like this time you went up, it was like 33 days. The next one was like 24 days. The next one, you had a lot of volatility. Even though you went higher, it was a little bit longer, 45 days. Now, after waiting for 2 years, 45 days is nothing. Then the next one, 48 days. So say the average of 35-40 days is what we are looking for in the market to see some kind of momentum entering the market. And if that is true, now the question is, you move into different time zones, different structure, looking at different market, different exchange, and you also get the perspective clear that on a weekly, which is the macro, this is what we are looking at, right? The pattern is clear and it is showing you we are moving to the upside. So can this be a huge mistake if we are waiting for another big downside, right? I know the possibilities are there. You may actually wick lower like this, but the actual question is, you go look at the structure and ask yourself like, what do you see the price is about to do, right? You can say, okay, we may test this high, we may get rejected. That is a possibility, agreed. And then we may go back down. But right now we haven't reached there. To get that idea or the confirmation of whether we are going to go down or not, we still have upside. And just with this upside, the other side of the market is slowing down. The Bitcoin, the Ether, they are slowing down. So this will actually shift attention to XRP. And with where we are in the XRP case, it's now getting really interesting. Some of these experts are saying like, okay, maybe in a week we'll get something, maybe in 30 days. So it was like, okay, within a year we're going to see something. And right now it's like, okay, maybe in a month or two we're going to see the case getting solved and on a positive note, right? And that's where it all boils down to. Now you can actually jump onto a Heikin chart, which is going to be easy to give us a better clarity. So first time when the bulls actually fight off the bears, it's really hard. But the next time you actually see the candles increasing in momentum. So here we are. We got 1, 2, and this is the third candle which is in the bull mode. So on a weekly, you are good, you're great. On a daily chart, it's showing you I'm bullish, don't go bearish in my understanding of this chart, right? Then I'm looking on a daily and it's like, okay, I ran up, I consolidated, now I'm trying to break higher. Say, if you look at this one, you'll see that you woke up, it broke higher, it consolidated there and went up. Now, for that particular case, you only had another leg up before you actually went down. Now, if we actually go back to the areas we were discussing about, now look at this. You go higher, you consolidate, then you bounce higher. Each time inside the microwaves, it can be like the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 inside that. Still, you will see the same price structure. So Heikin-Ashi actually gives you the idea of what you can expect for the next 24 hours when you're using a daily chart. And then I'm like, okay, let me zoom in because I'm seeing like the volume is constant. It is increasing on a regular basis, which seems really bullish because the volume is coming in with momentum. The price is slowly trying to push higher and higher. The daily candle was above the moving average. The 12-hour is above the moving average. The 4-hour is just above the moving average. When people look for a huge correction, that should be when you actually see that the price is way above the moving average, but 20% is nothing. But on a 4-hour, that's significant. We can say, okay, we may actually get a correction. Now we got that. Now you can actually literally zoom in to even a minute chart, but it won't make much sense. On an hourly chart, we are literally observing like, okay, we slowly creep back up, testing this high, and we are not actually getting that level of volume here to break through. So either we may actually come a little bit down to retest this area and then bounce back, which is the scenario we just talked about, right? Now, another important structure would be in Bitcoin. We have actually done a lot of these price action, the analysis, and right now we stand here looking at the price action saying, okay, we just got some news in the market saying, okay, Binance is going to be sued. And on the other end, what we have to also think at like biggest traditional exchanges like Nasdaq is going to come out or roll out cryptocurrencies. And right now you get Coinbase being kicked, Binance being kicked, and I'm like, okay, this literally looks coordinated to me. Like they're trying to slow down the movement of retailers into these exchange when they are preparing theirs. So it's like, okay, we'll service you. We'll take only one person. And, Binance is way better in the spreads. And it's really going to be hard for them to compete against these guys who have stayed in the market for a long period of time. So they are going to use different types of tactics. But what we have to understand is those people who say like, okay, I've been in the market has dropped 80%. They first need to understand like, okay, if you were here in the market in 2017, you bought Bitcoin below $1,000. Now after the drop, it's $27,000. So it's about time in the market, right? Say you entered early in 2019 or late in 2019, you are still doing good. You are in profits. But the difference is how long you can wait in this asset class because the adoption is based on the infrastructure being built. The Google, the Microsoft, the Amazon, all of them are right now at that level because they got the basic infrastructure so the common man can use it easily. Now we are slowly getting there, but not reached the level like that. Because if you want to do a cryptocurrency transaction right now, you have some modes which are easy, but most of it is not that user friendly. If you are like, old and you're not that tech savvy, or you're young, but you don't really know anything about the tech, it's harder. But slowly we are actually getting to that level. And that's why while we look at this and say like, okay, the dollar is slowing down, the crypto market is showing signs, we also need to understand the FUD will always come into the market. And that's why watching this price dropping to the support will be one of the healthiest thing to watch for us, because if we don't, that thought process of we haven't retested this range yet would come back haunting us. Remember, here we went higher, we didn't actually retest this range, then we got this massive correction, dropping to retest this level. So if we don't retest here and go higher, we can anticipate that it is going to come back down to kick that butt. That is for sure, right? And in that scenario, I'm like, okay, it's healthy for the market to come down, retest, and bounce. And with today's candle, I would say the daily candle in Bitcoin showing us that it is an engulfing candle, erasing the gains of last 2 days, shows the momentum is slowly building to the downside. So the corrective action can happen here, like maybe in this week, next week, we're going to actually complete that structure. Coming back down to this level and bouncing won't look really bad, because when you zoom out, you'll see something like this, a glitch in the system while you were going up. It's just this: when you're going up, right? You don't go up a little bit and then go back into the bear market. That is not how the market works. Now, going back into XRP, the price is what a lot of us are looking at. And, most of people who are in XRP is there because a lot of people give them the thought process like it's going to burst through 10,000, 30,000, 50,000. I've even seen, crazy things like 100,000. And I'm like, in that case, a coffee in US should be like $100 or maybe $1,000. It's going to get devalued like that. But, let's be realistic and let's actually look at the scenario, right? So we literally will actually go through that stuff and see like, okay, what are the opportunities in the market? What's the volume showing us? Because we don't have the United States participating in this right now, because you don't get new volume when the entire exchanges have delisted you. So only when you get that new amount of volume, you'll actually see massive movements, which is way more than anticipated, because now there is a lot of people FOMOing back into the market, into an asset which has certainty based on the regulatory side, right? So this is actually getting really serious and really bullish, because on a 3-day chart, you can't actually deny the fact that we are grinding higher, right? We do have the volume, which is in green. On the weekly, you close this one, erasing all these movements. Now we are still going back up, trying to reach and retest this range of 0.5. So literally, if you go through this level, that means you just erased all of this. And that is literally a year of correction and consolidation. So if the price just moves 20-30%, you have that level. Now, we are not talking about a 10x from here. It's just bear movement in the cryptocurrency market, which we usually see. A candle like this, we reach here, and that's going to create a lot of FOMO. Why? Because at the top, you kind of easily identified after we dropped that, okay, now we are going lower. But yeah, being sincere, we took our profits here, 1.91. Not the exact top, but somewhere close. Right now, look at the market. It is showing you the same idea that it is about to move back up. It is showing you a possibility that, okay, I've made my bottom. I may actually go back up. But it's not actually exactly around at bottom, because it's actually showing you a trend line which it has been holding for a long period of time, an extended period of time. So that is even more bullish in that sentiment. Now it's patience. Now it's discipline. If you don't have the discipline, even if the price action is showing you I'm moving up, you literally search for some news in the market, and someone is going to give you the negative sentiment. And as you're already going through that negative sentiment through these 2 years of correction, you will bite on that. You'll say, okay, maybe we are going down. And especially that comes from guys with a lot of followers. People think that's way more valid than anyone else suggesting, right? This is all opinions and understanding of different human beings. What you have to literally do is take your time and analyze both views, or if you have multiple views, all those views, and come to a conclusion after looking at all the facts and weighing which one has more realistic and reality facts, everything attached to it. That's something you need to do. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.